After 4 weeks of waiting, Fairy Tail is finally back. And also, the Labyrinth arc is also finally over. So, at the end of the last chapter, we were wondering, what is the fate of Darmagon? Is he dead, or is he going to run to Igna? And the answer is, he's dead. But at the beginning of the chapter, he's basically cursing the fact that he was defeated by humans, as his stone body begins to fall apart and fracture. And Natsu's response to him is that it's your own fault that you've lost. If you just didn't look down on everyone, maybe you would have been able to take us seriously and actually fight hard. Which he's right, like 100%. Like, Darmagon was playing with Natsu and Suzaku for the entire time, and didn't start getting serious until he started getting hurt. So, kind of his own fault. But as he's dying and turning to dust, Darmagon tells Natsu that the age of humans has come to an end. Which, it doesn't surprise me. We've basically been speculating that Igna and Darmagon have been planning to resurrect the dragons and bring forth the age of dragons again. So this should be a surprise to no one. The Darmagon Labyrinth is, in fact, made of Darmagon. So now that he's dead, the labyrinth is, starting to collapse. So Suzaku's like, I can't move anymore. We're dead. And Natsu says, I still got fighting spirit, which immediately gets knocked the fuck out by a falling rock. So, no, you have no fighting spirit left. You are literally out of gas, dude. And now you're unconscious, yeah. So Suzaku basically accepts the fact that he's about to die. He doesn't like it, but he basically is at that point where, okay, I can't move, Natsu's unconscious, it's over for us. Of course, Misaki shows up and saves him before he gets crushed to death. She tells him that, Kieran got the rest of their guild out of there, so the only ones left are the three of them. And Sasuke then asked, okay, you're gonna save me, but can you also save Natsu? And she smiles and said, of course. So as you can imagine, the collapse of a giant labyrinth created by a dragon's magic is basically causing an earthquake that's shaking the entire continent at this point. Yeah, that's not a joke. The entire continent is shaking. This gives that dumbass from the Golden Owl a chance to escape. I still don't know his name. Still not going to take my time to learn it. Fuck it. He's still known as Dumbass from here on out. So Dumbass escapes. Gajil's about to go after him, but Lily's like, there's no point. Leave him. So everyone was able to escape. They got Natsu and Sasuke out easily by turning them into plushies and then just carrying them lightly out and turning them back once they're all out. But yeah, everyone safely escapes the labyrinth, and the earthquake finally comes to an end with the complete and utter collapse of the labyrinth. When I say complete and utter collapse, I mean it literally becomes a giant lake or a pond. It's too big to be a pond, so I'll just call it a lake. It becomes a sea. That's the word I'm looking for. It becomes a giant sea. Not just that, but other than just becoming a giant sea, all over the continent, apparently, there's just absolute devastation and destruction that leads to reshaping of the map. So yeah, this was a massive natural disaster that they caused by killing Darmagon. So now that it's all over, everyone goes to the guild of Diablos. So this way, Elvisan and Celine can be patched up. And while they're having a meal, Kieran is picking a fight with Lexus again. Yeah, so Kieran is claiming that he couldn't have used his full power while in such a cramped space, and that's why he lost. Natsu, of course, is encouraging the fight to go on, and Lexus is absolutely willing to, once again, beat the shit out of Kieran. Honestly, Dragon Slayers. Yeah, Kieran keeps trying to save face. He even tries to get Mitsuki in on it, claiming that she also couldn't use her full power in such a cramped space, and tries to convince her to say the same. And she responds by saying, I lost. I accept that. Basically says that the only girlies she's ever lost to is Urza and Celine, which I've noticed this for a while, but it really makes sense now. Misaki is very masculine in the way she presents herself. Like, she dresses in like a full-on military garb kind of clothing that suits her very well, but it very much reminds me of something from Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. The way she dresses. Combine that with the fact that her speech pattern is very masculine as well, where she basically calls other women girlies. This even embarrasses Urza a bit when being called a girly. So based on the comment of the fact that she's, never lost any other girls except for Urza and Celine, Wendy then asked, does that mean that she's this continent's strongest female wizard? And the answer is yes. Yes, she is. But only a wizard, because apparently the Alchemist Guild Golden Owl has 2 female alchemists who are in fact stronger than her. So yeah, we finally get an explanation of what alchemy is in Fairy Tail, because so far it's been behaving a lot like just magic, just different type of magic. But Lily straight up says it's being able to turn matter into other things, which, once again, it's just Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood at this point. It's that kind of alchemy. So there you go. Gajiel then says that God Serena is apparently part of their little group now. And Urza's like, wait, isn't he supposed to be dead? And Gajiel says, no, he's alive. I'm telling you the truth. And when he says, no, he did die, she then immediately covers her mouth and tries to cover up the fact that she knows for a fact that he's dead. Quite simply, it's because of Irene, and she's trying to keep that a secret at the moment. But Irene basically tells Wendy that the Historia spell that was used to bring Celine back to life, which she wasn't actually brought to life, it was more of a memory thing of a person, only affects an individual that is dead. It cannot be used to replicate the living. Wendy then comes up with a lie that he was confirmed dead by someone else, so there's no reason to believe that he's alive. Kieran then says that a guildmate of theirs, Wrath, which was the ghost dragon slayer, was also dead, and he was a member of their guild. And then they killed him, which is redundant to say. Can't kill the already dead. And he does this in a way to threaten Lexus, because once again, Kieran is trying to pick a fight with Lexus again. I don't know why. The rest of the Diablo Guild's like, no, Wrath just passed on, finally. He even left us a will. Like, he wasn't re-killed. He just finally went on to Nirvana, or Heaven, or whatever you want to call it. So, yeah, I was originally correct when Selena was first introduced. The Alchemy Guild apparently has the ability to do human transmutation, which is basically just resurrecting the dead, which is what happened to Gatsrina. They probably made him some fake organs, put him in his body, and then went through a process to bring him back to life. So Sasuke is, of course, impatient, and he feels that they're getting off track of the subject, and he wants to go back to what are they all supposed to do now? And Natsu's like, well, if you want to fight, we can go at it. It's, again, Dragon Slayers. That seems to be all that they want. Even though for some ungodly reason that they've already come to a truce at this point. There's really no reason for them to fight. Thank God for Lucy, because she straight up says, okay, well, what does Celine want? What exactly is the reason why you're following her? So Diablo tells Fairytale that all Celine wants is to wipe out the rest of the dragons and live quietly as a human being for the rest of her existence. And Urza's like, you believe her? And their response is, well, she helped you at the labyrinth, didn't she? And Natsu basically accepts this as, yeah, okay, if I'm going to judge a human or a dragon, I'm not going to judge them by their heart and then decide if they're good or bad. Which is, yeah, you really should do that. Natsu is an idiot, but the man doesn't understand the priorities of how things should go. Elsphyra is, of course, lying in bed, listening to this entire thing. And, of course, here's the concept of judging people by their hearts. And based on all the actions that have been happening and the fact that it's been 100 years, I think he just wants to just give up on his grudge at this point. I think he's going to be willing to forgive Selena and move on. Obviously, he's not going to forgive Igna and the other dragon that's still remaining, if he's still good or bad, the golden dragon. If he's good, he'll probably forgive him, but if he's bad, he's probably going to ask the Fairytale to wipe his ass out. But yeah, this arc is finally over, and we're probably going to move on to the Golden Owl arc, which is going to be really cool. See God Serena again, and most likely the Golden Dragon will be the guy running the guild. And most likely, his two most powerful members of the guild, the sisters, will most likely be his daughters, I'm guessing. That'd be really cool to have a guild run by like 3 dragons. Okay, if you like this, please subscribe, give a thumbs up so you can enjoy more Fairytale and other anime things. Thank you, and have a great day.